Okay, first let me start this video with, I guess, really two apologies. One is that those of you that are looking at these videos going, when the hell's he going to get it started? It kind of ended up more turning into a carburetor rebuild video, but we will, I promise you, eventually get to the starting of the vehicle and any other issues I find other than the carburetors. But the carburetor one is a big issue, so you know it has to be dealt with. There's no two ways about that. The second apology is my sniffing. I suffer from allergies out here in sunny Arizona, so I do tend to a lot, and I do apologize for that, but there ain't nothing I can do about it. I take allergy pills, but it doesn't seem to do any damn good. All right, so now let's move on to getting something done. I've got to put this little plate on here. First of all, I have to locate it. Oh, there it is. Now, do note there's a little hole in here, and there's a little hole here. Don't put the gasket on the wrong way round. I mean, you might be able to squeeze it on, I guess, without... But you've got the little lumpy shape here. And that way you get it in the right position. Because obviously the air needs to flow through to this. And this obviously goes on this way around, again, because of the lump. So that just sits on there nicely. So just got to put the two screws in and then that'll be done. One other thing that I haven't mentioned, I don't believe, and if I have, tough shit, get one of these. Take as many photos as you want, or get the video camera. Either way, make sure before you start ripping these things apart that you get lots of photograph, lots of footage, different angles, because when you're going to put shit back together, you suddenly go, oh crap, as I did, and you saw in my previous episode where I got this shaft the wrong way round. So now I'm looking at this one going, was it this way or was it that way? Yeah, I can walk over to the car and go, okay, this is the front carburetor, so I know it has to go this way around, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I do E-types as well. When you've got three carburetors, it gets even more confusing. So don't forget to take lots of photos. The other thing I wanted to show you, when I was talking about the seals on part 7 of this video, I was trying to indicate to you how the seals go on. If you buy the kit, you get this little instruction, and it shows you pictures of how the pieces need to go on. So it's very handy for that. One thing I do, which maybe you will, you won't do, I don't know, is with the instruction booklet, on it I mark certain things that I want to remember, make sure I do. And because there's always more than one carburetor, usually, I'll give one of these to the owner of the vehicle, just in case he needs it for resetting somehow. Who knows, you know? Just wanted to say that. All right, so what else have we got to talk about? Going to be soaking the washers. There are a number of different washers that need to be soaked for the starting carburetor, and I'll show you that in the next video. But also this one here. This one is for the float chamber, and I tried putting one on dry once and I broke it. So that was annoying because then I had to reseal it. What you do is just put it in some hot water for a few moments. It makes it supple. And then when you're putting it on the lid here, it'll stretch out and go around it. Okay, the other thing I want to get to is, oops, let me move that out of the way because I will remember to do that. Is I've polished the inside of these. Not polished, shiny polish, but polished and cleaned. And what I've used is my trusty old tube of Autosol. This is good shit. It really does clean up aluminium very well. And I just did it in here, and down here, and also in here. Makes it nice and clean. Okay, let me see. Now, I'll do the starter carb in a minute. I'm just looking at my notes over here. Oh, one annoying thing. When you buy the rebuild kit, they don't give you a new spring. They don't give you one of these new. Again, another little frustrating thing. It's meant to be a rebuild kit, so you have to reuse the old spring. Okay, there's really nothing wrong with the old spring. I mean, it's just sits there. But you think part of the kit, it would actually include that spring. Also on the starter carburetor, I hadn't mentioned it before, and I will mention it again when I do the starter carb. One of the reasons this vehicle wouldn't, shouldn't, didn't start is that the starter carburetor had no spring on it. So consequently, this was permanently shut. There wasn't a snowball's chance in hell it was ever going to open because there was no spring on here. Fortunately, the replacement I got does actually have that spring on it. And I can only thank the supplier for sending me one that is complete. Thank you very much, Mr. Supplier. You know who you are. That's it for the moment. Going to stop here and get this carburetor together. You've already seen me do it in the other one. And once I've got this together, then we'll get on to the starter carburetor and how it attaches to this particular body, and also the rebuild of the starter carburetor, although there really isn't much rebuilding to do on it. But nonetheless, I will still go through it, and then you can either have a laugh, or you can just say, what's the matter with this guy? Has he no life? And, well, who knows? That could well be true, but I love my cars. Can't help it. My addiction. All right, and as you can see, these springs are done. Slinkies. Do you remember Slinkies? Do you remember Slinkies? That's just like a... Oh, look at that, because of the magnet. I remember Slinkies. Used to get them to walk down the stairs, which was great if you had stairs. If you didn't, it was pretty boring. Right, on with the starter carb. So, the first one to fit after soaking for a few minutes is this one over this bowl. Now, I haven't actually changed this yet, but I will be. But I just wanted to get all these soaking all together. And as you can see, once this one's been soaking, it fits on there nicely. So that is now ready, and I just need to change the the valve here. These need just a little bit longer in the water, so let's get that soaking for a little longer. Now the fun bit, putting this carburetor together with the starting carburetor, and you need 12 hands to do this, as you will see. All right, let's start with I guess the just get stuck in. I have the aluminium washer, which goes on here first. Then one places this on here with the pieces on this side, put the jet in, line up the diaphragm with the screw holes. Next, I have to think about this, don't forget the spring. I nearly forgot the bloody spring then. And place over hole. Okay, that's good. Now the next trick is to get this plate, which holds the starting carburetor, and that goes this way round. Now now what you need is let me see, where am I going with this? I'll tell you what you do next to help you not be so stupid like I am. Get a screw. Have a screw. That always makes things work better if you have a screw. And so let's just hold this down. Okay, good. Right, so now that's not tight, that one, by the way. That's just holding everything. Do the same here. And then these two. And you can tell by the fact I'm pushing them in that I've still got my diaphragm lined up. Diaphragm, gosh. Now, those were the old contraceptive days. What the hell did they call? Oh, a Dutch cap, wasn't it? Guess it was invented in Holland. Okay. Okay, let's just pinch that up, that. Now, changing one's tool, something a little meatier. I want to get a good pinch on that, but be careful because this is aluminium and you do not want to strip the threads. Now, metal threads into aluminium usually are coarse for that very reason, that this is soft metal. Right, so where am I going to go next? I'm going to do a balancing act here. This is where this one goes through here. Then you get the felt washer, which goes here, which then screws into here. It screws in, I said. Okay, now I'm not going to do that up tight for obvious reasons, because I have this one here, and I need to put, you've got to think about this one. This washer goes on here, I believe. For every drop of rain that falls. So this is going to go here. Oh, that's right, duh. So we need to slip that washer in there. Then on the other side, which goes here, is that washer. That's right, I was right. Haha, I was right. And this washer goes on here because it actually fits into that recess. So just make sure you get these lined up. And I just let them soak in that warm, hot water. It wasn't boiling, it was hot, for a few minutes. You have to watch this because that aluminium washer doesn't always want to let you go through. Alright, oops, no, that's still not quite right. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull it up before I push it down. Ha 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 ha. Oh, yeah, these threads are tight. Nice and tight. Okay, now, so there it is. I mean, I haven't tightened everything up, but that's how it's going to go. And the next thing to do is tighten this lot up. And let's see. Yes, I believe I have my orientation correct. And the fact that this is facing this way, which is where the pipe comes up and connects into it. I've got the solenoid to put on yet. This I've already set. The jet I've already set. And that's about it. The rest is the same as the other carburetor. So really there's nothing new to show you. And we are done. Let me just make sure. Let's see, starter carburetor spring, I've mentioned that. The hole in the vac, mentioned that. Soak the washers, mentioned that. Sealed paper, I've shown you that. And take photos, I've done that. So I think I've covered everything I need to cover. This, I'm sure you know, fits on here. And obviously the terminals point that way so that you don't interfere with this. Make sure that works. See, that's got a spring on it. It pulls it back up. Previously, there was no spring. I don't believe it. Okay. All right. Now I just need to get these tightened up before these washers dry out. And that's probably the end of this particular video, because putting the shaft in, you saw that on the other one. I think we're good. If not, and I've missed something, or something you would like to know about putting these buggers back together, if I can help you, I most certainly will. I hope the video helps you. Please do the usual for me. Like, comment, subscribe. We are rapidly zooming up now. We got, I think, something like 490 subscribers, and I thank every one of you. I can't thank every one of you, but I do thank every one of you. We're rapidly heading towards 500. That will be absolutely amazing if I could hit 500 by mid-year. And I would love to hit 1,000 by the end of the year, but who knows. And if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. It doesn't cost you a dime. And click the bell, and then you'll get notified when I put more crap out there. I try and keep it amusing, but if you're easily offended by the word fuck, then I guess you won't be watching my videos anymore. And I've never been offended by a fuck, as long as I was doing it, if you see what I mean. Who said that? All right, again, please like, comment, subscribe, ding the dong, and I'll see you in the next video, which will hopefully be these back on the car, and maybe, I'm not going to make any promises, me starting the car.